What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy KP, and today we are covering the NBA on Christmas Day. So here's a quick look at the matchups. We got the Cavaliers versus the Knicks. Another rematch with the Spurs and OKC. Who could have predicted that? We got the Mavs versus Golden State. We got the Rockets versus Lakers, and we got the Timberwolves versus the Nuggets. And the first thing that stands out to me looking at this Christmas Day schedule is there's only like one Eastern Conference matchup. That's how weak the East is. That's how underrated the East is right now. I don't even want to say underrated. They're rated properly. It says that Cleveland and New York meet on Christmas for the first time. The Cavaliers make their first Christmas appearance since 2017. We already know who was on the team in 2017, man. The Knicks play their 50th Christmas home game. Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson are top 10 scorers this season. Yeah, that's going to be the highlight of the matchup. Donovan Mitchell versus Jalen Brunson. I think Donovan Mitchell is leading the league in three-pointers this year. The Cavaliers have unfortunately dropped off pretty bad compared to last season. They are 16-14, and the Knicks are 20-8. I think that based on their success from last year, that's why the NBA decided to put them on Christmas Day versus the Knicks, come on, man. It's the Knicks. That's my second favorite team for all those who've been watching. The Wizards are my favorite team, but I got a backup team. I got a backup team that's legit got a chance of winning the championship this year, and that's the Knicks, man. They are number 2 in the East right now behind the Detroit Pistons by about 2 games. I don't think that the NBA knew that the Pistons were going to be doing what they're doing this year, which is understandable, but that probably is one of my top 5 teams. I grew up watching the Detroit Pistons with Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton, Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace, Rodney Stuckey even. We were big Detroit Pistons fans. Love when they beat the Lakers, and then those matchups with the Heat going back and forth, and those matchups against LeBron. But yeah, that's going to be a good matchup. Ready to see what Karl-Anthony Towns can do on his first Christmas game, I believe, and see how that goes. Now, the second game in this matchup is the Spurs versus Thunder. I actually just finished watching the Spurs versus the Thunder. They blew them out by 20. And then they got to go see each other on Christmas Day, man. I feel like the league predicted this one so well. I guess they wanted to force this rivalry, but I think it's just naturally happened on its own. You can't really force rivalries anyway, but the Spurs are on a tear. They actually ended the Thunder's 16-game win streak a few weeks ago, and that just really put the league on notice when it comes to the Spurs, and the Thunder haven't lost at home. I'm assuming this game is going to be played in the Thunder's home arena because this game was just played in the Spurs home arena where they blew them out by 20. I think Victor Wembanyama is still coming off the bench. The Thunder, they're not playing bad. They just are meeting a team that is just as hungry as they are, can match up very well with them. Young, tenacious, with a mixture of veterans, and it has a defensive mindset. And looking at the previous matchup, that 3-ball is everything when it comes to this matchup. And tonight, Stephon Castle was on a tear. And I probably owe some Spurs fans an apology. I didn't really mean to talk down on De'Aaron Fox. It was more so about me trying to hype up Dylan Harper. But that tandem, that 3-guard rotation that they have with Stephon Castle and De'Aaron Fox, and then you got Dylan Harper coming off the bench, you can't get a better 3-man guard rotation in the league. You just cannot, man. And this is a rookie playing like he's been in the league a couple of years. I can only imagine what he's going to be doing in a couple of years. But yeah, looking forward to that matchup. That is a rivalry in the making. That is a potentially Western Conference matchup, second round matchup. Who knows how it's going to play out, man. It really depends on what the Nuggets and Timberwolves are going to do, and we're about to get to that in just a second. The next matchup is the Mavericks versus the Warriors. This is Cooper Flag's first Christmas game. They just can't help it. They had to put Cooper Flag on Christmas Day, man. And I get it, man. You gotta sell to the networks, man. You gotta sell them tickets for sure. You gotta put the league on notice. I was a little iffy about Cooper Flag in the beginning of the season playing point guard, but it looks like the Mavs have somewhat given up on that and just making him some type of point forward, which is a lot more feasible in my opinion, a lot less pressure. And I believe he dropped a career high 42 points a few weeks ago, and I was just like, sheesh, 42 points as a rookie is nuts, man. And then you got Klay Thompson, man, coming back to the Bay. I think I saw an article about Draymond Green having an argument with Steve Kerr and then going to the locker room. So things are not well with the Warriors at all. They're potentially going to be a play-in team. Right now, they're sitting at 8th, 15-15. Every single W counts for the rest of the season for the Warriors. You can tell that Steph Curry is trying to squeeze everything he can out of the rest of his career. He's going for it. This year or next year might be it, to be honest, for him and LeBron. Steph Curry, man, he loves to put on a show for Christmas Day. Then you got Jimmy Buckets. Hopefully Draymond Green's situation isn't too bad. I wish Kuminga was playing a little bit better, but they might as well go ahead and get ready to trade that guy. They should have got rid of him in the summertime. But, you know, these front offices are a little bit stubborn, man. And then we have the Rockets versus Lakers. We already know this is a marquee matchup. Two legends going at it, two future Hall of Famers going at it. I don't think they've really went at it since Durant was on the Warriors, and it says this is the first time they played each other since 2018. Yeah, he was on the Warriors in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. And then Luka Doncic, this is gonna be his first Christmas game. I can't even really believe that. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. But he did have an injury over the weekend, a leg contusion, and he didn't play in the Lakers and Suns game. So we're going to see if he can make it to the Christmas Day game. And then we got Alperen Sengun and Amen Thompson making their Christmas debuts. Not really sure how I feel about the Rockets. I wasn't really too confident with them heading into the season just because they acquired Kevin Durant. I wasn't really too hyped about that. I feel like they could have kind of kept their core together. And I know Jalen Green's performance in the playoffs was a huge factor in that. And obviously you don't want to miss an opportunity to have Kevin Durant, but I feel like they took a step back with the acquisition that they made. And then obviously the injury to Fred VanVleet was a huge blow in the beginning of the season. And I don't think they've yet figured out that point guard situation. And obviously Luka Doncic is an awesome player. Austin Reeves is an awesome player. LeBron James is LeBron James, but I feel like they're just missing something to help them compete with the top of the West. We'll see if they can even make it out of the first round this year. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup simply because it's Kevin Durant versus LeBron. You can't get it any better than that. The Timberwolves versus the Nuggets is probably the one I'm looking forward to seeing the most. I remember a couple of years ago when the Timberwolves knocked off the Nuggets in Game 7, and I was just so ecstatic about it, man. I was like, Ant-Man has arrived. And before he knocked off the Nuggets, he had beat Kevin Durant in the previous round. And then this past year, he knocked off LeBron in the first round and then Steph Curry in the second round. So it's just like, okay, Ant-Man, this is your Christmas game, man. You got to show out. You gotta do your thing. Jokic ain't here to mess around, man. I think he's back to reclaim his title atop of the West, man. I think the Nuggets are on a mission to reclaim their dominance in the West, and they're not going to be playing around with the Timberwolves. And honestly, all the Timberwolves really are missing is a point guard. There's a lot of talks about them getting Ja Morant, but I really don't see that being feasible or successful. We got to pay close attention to those rumors heading into the deadline. Everyone thought that they were going to drop off tremendously, adding Julius Randle after that cat trade. But really, they just needed some time to gel. I think Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards' chemistry is on par. The Nuggets, they actually got rid of Michael Porter Jr. during the offseason, and they added Cameron Johnson. I don't think he's producing as much as Michael Porter Jr. could and would have been producing, but I think the team chemistry is a lot better, and he's just a plug-and-play person in the offense. And then Christian Braun has stepped it up a bunch, and they're just on a mission this year, man. They want to get back to those glory days. A lot of fans thought that they were going to go on a serious run of back-to-back championships, and maybe this is the year that they get back to that prominence. But hopefully, being a huge Timberwolves fan as well, hopefully we can stop them in their tracks. Now, if I had to pick a winner of each game on Christmas Day, I'm definitely going to take the Knicks winning over the Cavs. The Spurs have beat the Thunder 2 games in a row. They just blew them out by 20. I think the Thunder's going to be like, all right, enough is enough. And they're gonna really come at the Spurs on Christmas Day. I don't think the Spurs are gonna come out victorious, but that's just gonna add to the rivalry. Mavericks versus Warriors. I think the Warriors are a little bit more desperate to get a W, and it's on Christmas Day. I feel like Steph Curry is probably going to show his tail. And then obviously I'm taking the Lakers with or without Luka Doncic. I just don't really see LeBron letting his team lose on Christmas Day. I can't see it happening, but if they do lose, it's just going to be because the Rockets are just a lot more athletic, a lot more youthful, and if they're firing on all cylinders despite their situations and their struggles, then they have what it takes to beat the Lakers. For the Timberwolves, this is just going to be a matchup where you can't really predict someone just outright winning. It's probably going to come down to the crosshairs with this matchup. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So let me know what you guys think about the Christmas Day games. Do you think the NBA did good or bad when it comes to these matchups? And who are you picking to win each matchup as well? And thanks for rocking out with me. Stay tuned for more content. Peace out.